How we doing out there, kiddies? All kinds of shit went down this past week. Whole lot of people's in panic mode. You know who's not panicking? Yours truly. Let's get into it. Yeah, it was all kinds of a crazy fucking week. I tell you what, folks. Man, Trump held a little round table with some independent media. And from this round table, he turned around and pretty much gave the personal fuck you to the mainstream media because they were there in attendance as well, too. They were invited to listen in on some of the stuff. And these people were revealing stories about themselves, the things that they've actually dealt with, the things that they've gone through, and the things that they've seen on the ground. You've got so much of your mainstream media right now trying to tell you that Antifa is not a real organization. Antifa is not really being funded. Antifa is just an ideology. It's a group of people that are getting together and they have the same mindset and they say they want the same things. Yet this ideology is somehow seen around the entire fucking world. And they're trying to tell you that Antifa is not violent. These are peaceful protests. They're just holding up signs. Never mind the fact that we have video footage of them throwing fireworks at police officers, of them using riot flashlights, doing the rapid flashing in hopes to causing seizures, of them trying to shine laser pointers, 20, 30 people at the same time trying to shine a laser pointer in the police officer's eye in hopes to cause permanent damage to his retina. When they want to do a laser party and they're advertising for laser parties to shine it in fucking police helicopters to bring it down to cause mass mayhem. These aren't real people. Don't believe your lying eyes. This isn't happening. This is from MJ Truth Ultra. If you can hear, folks, my voice isn't really 100% back, but it's coming back slowly but surely. Kind of like these shows, right? Slowly but surely, I'm making its way back. Says, oh my God, this is funny as hell. This journalist, Brandy Cruz, says she no longer suffers from TDS, admits that she suffered from it for 8 years, and now says that she's happier and thinks she's even getting more attractive during this recovery. Let's listen to her, see what she says.
I was told by probably a dozen people not to tell you this. I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years. This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful. I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my Trump derangement syndrome.
Funny how feeling good about yourself and the decisions that you're making tends to have that kind of effect on you.
Yes. You know, I'm a reporter in Seattle, and frankly, I could not care any less what any of you have to say about this meeting. Could not care any less. We're not here for you. I'm not here to convince any of you that Antifa is a real thing, because if you have not come to that conclusion by now, you are never going to come to that conclusion because you don't want to see it. And you're going to go and you're going to say it's a bunch of right-wing conservative influencers who are here spinning a tale. I was one of you. I was a mainstream reporter in Seattle for 10 years. I was a TV reporter on the streets doing my job, and I was still assaulted by Antifa.
See, and that's the thing. This is why I keep telling people, you know, it's not just vote blue no matter who. It's vote blue no matter who until it affects you. And it affected her. And this is what started changing her mindset. She started seeing things for what it really was, seeing how things were really going.
So it's not about being conservative. It's about people who go there and show what they're doing. And when I saw, after all those years, that the media wouldn't be honest about what was happening, that Democratic politicians wouldn't be honest about what was happening, I thought, well, gosh, if they're not being honest about that, maybe they're not being honest about President Trump either. And it opened my mind to just looking at things for what they were.
See, it's really funny how things tend to have that kind of a fucking effect, man. The thing is, we deal with this on a regular fucking basis. If you're passionate and you're faithful about something, nobody really is going to affect what, no matter what they say to you, it's not going to affect your thought process, right? It's not really going to change your mind. There's so many people that are so, what's the word? I guess you could say indoctrinated, that you can show them actual physical evidence and it's not going to change how they feel about that situation. And see, right now, the problem that we're dealing with, and the reason why we blame a lot of this on TDS, is because it is that hatred for Trump. And we're going to see something about this later in the media. If I get to it, dude, I've got a lot of shit saved on these things. I don't always go over everything that I fucking save, but I try to put a lot of it in here. And the show ends up being like 2.5 fucking hours long. And that's a long time to go without a fucking smoke. You know what I'm saying? So, and I might take a break here and there, but that's a lot of fucking recording time. And I'm a procrastinator. I wait till the last minute to do this shit. You see how long it fucking takes to come out every goddamn week when it does actually fucking come out? Jesus. All right. But back to the point. You can show them actual physical evidence and they're still not going to believe anything. Just like right here. More and more things are coming out because Trump is involved. He's allowing that information to get out there. Right? See, before we have gotten used to what politics and news used to do on a regular basis. The news would report something. Politicians would get together and they would talk about it and they would televise it and they would advertise it. And then they would turn around and they would run campaigns on it. And you can't vote for this because you have to vote for me because this person did this and all this other stuff, right? But nobody would ever really go to jail for it, except some of your local authorities would go to jail. You would have possibly assistants to the mayor or deputy mayors would go to jail, or poll administrators would go to jail for minor things. You'll have little people here and there, and they're always going to mention whether they're Republicans or Democrats, but the majority of the time you don't really have a lot of the major people going to jail. Well, not until Trump got into office. Then it was always Trump's people that were going to jail. But this is what they used to do, right? There's a small difference of what Trump's doing. He was doing what they used to do. They would televise and advertise on it. But in between the time frame of exposing the truth of what's happening and what's going on to debate the lies that the Democrats and the mainstream media want to push and tell to you, he's saying, we have the evidence. Here's the evidence. Now, my administration, I need you to go handle this that you have uncovered for me and finish the fucking job. Let's get indictments. Let's get trials going. Let's get people held accountable. Now, the mainstream media is going to turn around and they're going to tell you that this is a retribution that Trump was talking about. This is the revenge story that Trump was talking about. This is weaponization of the Justice Department. But the thing is, the Democrats always tell you that the other person is doing what they're doing. Letitia James, who has now been indicted for bank fraud and mortgage fraud, is exactly what she accused Trump of doing when she tried to put him on trial for Mar-a-Lago. When she says that they weaponized this against her, that's exactly what she did against Trump when she took a misdemeanor offense and helped turn it to a fucking felony by adding a possible crime that wasn't even guaranteed, verified, or fucking proven. Tied a misdemeanor offense to a possible of multiple crimes just to get them on a felony. She campaigned on going after him, saying, I know that he's guilty of something. We just have to fucking find it. But the thing is, Trump is exposing all of these fucking lies. We're exposing who Antifa is, how it's being funded with this little roundtable meeting. This is from Wall Street Ape. It says White House releases names funding Antifa protest and violence in America. We paid for our protesters with $100 million laundered by the Democrats. We found a network of NGOs, non-governmental offices that collects taxpayers' money. Now, mind you, this wasn't just Trump and the independent fucking journalists. This was Trump, Kristi Noem, Kash Patel, Pound Bondi. Yeah. He had his treasury guy here. Forget his fucking name. Yeah. And then he had the independent journalists that were sitting down at the table while the mainstream media got to stand up and fucking watch and record it and televise it. Listen to some of this shit where the money's coming from. This is like 3 minutes long. We're going to go through this.
This is not just a story about violence and chaos, as you alluded to, Mr. President. This is a money story. And at the Government Accountability Institute, my colleague and I, Peter Schweitzer and our team, we followed the money, and we followed it to the top of what we call the protest industrial complex, Riot Inc. And we found a network of NGOs. It's not just the Soros network, the Open Society network. It's other funding networks, the Arabella funding network, the Tides funding network, Neville Roy Singham and his network, Foreign Cash. And it's also big left-wing funders. Some of them are not citizens of this country. Mr. Hans-Jörg Wyss of Switzerland. They're pouring money into this entire ecosystem. And so I want to share 3 money facts with you about what we call Riot Inc. Number one, like any corporation, Riot Inc. has many divisions. It doesn't just have the Antifa boots on the ground division. It has PR divisions. It has marketing divisions. It has a very well-funded legal division to get these boots on the ground back on the streets as quickly as possible.
They have their own fucking lawyers.
But it does have those investors that I mentioned. Number two, we have identified dozens of radical organizations, not just the decentralized Antifa organizations, but dozens of radical organizations that have received more than $100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be the groups that advocate for calling good, honest Americans fascists, etc. And then 3, I think the most shocking thing is that we have found that more than $100 million in U.S. taxpayer funding has flowed into these funding networks.
Your own fucking money is actually paying for these jackasses to act like fucking jackasses.
Including at least $4 million to these very groups themselves, not just Antifa types, but there was an event in Atlanta called Stop Cop City. Over 60 rioters were charged with domestic terrorism. These groups received money for that from both the billionaire class as well as taxpayer money. So one other thing, this money helps fund the decentralized crowdfunding platforms. These are ways that Antifa, the John Brown Gun Club of Elm Fork, which had links to that attack on the ICE facility, the Socialist Rifle Association, and just because they don't have LLCs or EIN numbers doesn't mean they can't get paid. Some of these funding platforms, crowdfunding platforms, are funded by this network that we call Riot Inc. So, again, I want to thank you for your leadership, for the whole cabinet's leadership on this. We're going to keep following the money and appreciate everything you're doing, sir.
Do you know the name of any of the funders? Do you know the names? Because if you do, I'd like you to give them to Cash or Pam.
Absolutely.
or Christie
Yeah, we'll do that.
as soon as you.
So we're giving these names and these numbers to Cash and Pam and Christy and shit like that. Now, he was talking about taxpayer funds. Well, here's where it gets fucking funny, folks. See, the thing is, if they're using taxpayer funds to fund this stuff that actually cause riots, and this Antifa is actually claimed, if Trump rules them as an international terrorist organization, where I think he did, I don't know if it's been officiated yet or not, but the thing is, if he rules them as an international terrorist organization, that gives him a little bit more tools to his fucking disposal. And if Democrats or any politician, Republicans even, if any politicians are involved with these NGOs to help fund this fucking chaos, that's shit that they can't fucking get out of, and that, ooh, it's going to get ugly, folks. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get fucking ugly. We're not going to listen to Savannah. Well, yeah, actually, Savannah Hernandez, she went off on the police who sit in and do nothing when the incidents in Americans are attacked by the Antifa thugs, right? Says here that President Trump, he asked her, says, why are they doing this? She responds, the reason why they're doing it is because the same media that's sitting in this room with us has declared that all of us at this table are Nazis and fascists. They've been doing this for years. This is why Antifa feels emboldened to attack us. And the thing is, a lot of that is correct. That because so many have been labeled fascists, Nazis, fucking parts of the oligarch, and all this other stuff. They feel emboldened, that they feel empowered. They feel like they're doing the right thing. Like I said before on one of my other episodes, they asked Christoph Waltz, how can you play such a villain so well? And he says, well, the villain didn't realize he was a villain. He wasn't doing it because he thought it was a bad thing. He thought he was doing the right thing. These people justify this in their fucking head, and we're going to go over some of the thoughts that they fucking go over. These are some of the things that they fucking talk about, because they honestly, because of the things that are being sold to them, because the way Democrats loosely talk about certain things, leave things out, or over and exaggerate and embellish some of their fucking talking points about the people on the right, that goes to these fucking people, and they over exaggerate everything, and they think because they've got a fucking bachelor's degree in fucking modern feminist farts and shit like that they're fucking smarter than you, because they know how to smell a fart better than you, because they went to fucking college for it and shit. But the thing is, we have now proven education does not equal intelligence. These people are the living embodiment of this fucking quote right here. I mean, Jesus Christ, if they understood or comprehended the contradictions that are coming out of their mouth when they regurgitate the shit that just spews out on fucking CNN and MSDNC, they would probably understand how stupid they fucking sound sometimes. And the thing is, whenever they tell you and that they try to argue with you, and when their talking points mean nothing, they just yell and they scream and they make noises. This is what all these Antifa people are doing. We're going to be going over some Antifa videos as well, to where all they do is they have these fucking bullhorns, and they make these siren sounds right in your fucking face and right in your ear, and say, I'm not assaulting you, when it is, because it's doing damage to your ear being that loud, that close to you. So that's actually a physical assault. Mind you, it's not fucking touching you, but it's doing damage to you, and it is a physical fucking assault. But they try to say, I'm not assaulting you, because they don't fucking comprehend in their goddamn head that they think they have to fucking touch you to assault you, right? They think if they stand there and just stand in your path like a goddamn basketball player, they think they're just going to take a charge, and some fucking cop's going to come up, call foul, throw a goddamn flag, and arrest the fucking guy that was walking on the street because you took a goddamn charge. No, you're a fucking moron. You standing there in the goddamn way does not do anything but fucking invoke me, because you impeded my fucking path. You were the one that got into my fucking direction. You were the aggravator in this fucking assault situation, and therefore I have the right to defend rebrand myself to continue upon my own fucking path. But I digress. This is some of the things that they consider divisive rhetoric from Trump, is whenever he calls them out for fake news. Why does he call them out for fake news? Because they fucking lie. They lie all the fucking time. They will edit clips to try to lie to you. And then they will turn around, and even after getting called out for that lie, they'll come back to that fucking lie. They'll even use other things for a fucking lie. They'll use a lie on the internet and run with it themselves. i.e. whenever they were supposedly zip tying babies. This was a picture from a fucking video of a cop playing with his own fucking son. But they said they wanted to say ICE was doing this to this fucking black kid. Listen to Trump. Listen to the way he talks to the press.
All right, go ahead.
In the ceasefire
This is CNN speaking, by the way. So,
are you personally
this is
participating?
one of the worst reporters that you'll ever see. I don't even want to take a question. It's a waste of time. Go ahead.
See, he's such a fucking cock tease to these fucking cunts, man, and they can't stand it. He enjoys trolling these fucktards, man, and it drives them absolutely apeshit. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I used to hardly ever fucking touch Twitter until I started doing the podcasting thing, and I was really on it for a little bit, trying to push and advertise, but I wasn't finding much of anything. And it wasn't until here recently I started getting back on Twitter. About a year ago, I got on here again, and it's been hot and fucking heavy. And I'm going to tell you right now, Twitter's really good for nothing except for politics, puns, and porn. That's really all that's on here that's worth a fucking shit, right? I mean, you can find some halfway decent fucking porn on here, and you can find all kinds of fucking politics on both fucking sides, right? And you can find plenty of fucking puns. It's just... sometimes it's not as punny as it really should be, but you get the fucking point. And now I'm on here all the goddamn time, and there's so much shit that you see that is unfucking real that people actually sometimes believe this shit. And people are going to jail for this shit in the fucking UK. That's just fucking crazy to me. Democrat Socialists of America, it says right here, this is by Gunther Eagleman, says the Democrat Socialists of America just got tied in to Antifa, and Trump knows that it's true. AOC is going to sweat. I guess she's the member of the Democrat Socialists of America, one of the major talkers of it. Let's take a listen.
Really appreciate you.
One question. So why is it there are numerous groups? I mean, Antifa is terrible, but you have other groups that I guess probably are almost as bad or just as bad. Not one other group was mentioned. I'm sort of surprised at that. You just come into contact with Antifa? It seems to be that you mostly come into contact with Antifa, please.
There's a lot of overlap. And I would say that, for instance, Jonathan brought up the Democratic Socialists of America. They're basically the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of Democratic Socialists of America who are out there in black bloc, hiding their faces. And so I think we use, and I do understand, for the record, I do understand the challenge, as Andy pointed out, with Antifa as a graspable entity. I do. But at the end of the day, when you look at behavior, you prosecute behavior, right? We're not prosecuting ideas or ideology, you're prosecuting behavior. So whether you can prove that this amorphous thing is Antifa or someone has a patch that says Antifa, it doesn't matter. Did they assault someone? Did they assault a federal agent? Were they engaged in rioting? What is it? And so
see, I don't think it's so much Antifa as the group itself. I think it's more along the lines of just the funding from these different groups and the actions that are behind the funding, or what the intent behind the funding is. Yeah, that's about. And the thing is, like, these independent journalists come out and they're talking a lot about Antifa And the news is going to show you these friendly little fucking pictures of these people dressed up in these inflatable frog and fucking dog and turkey suits and shit like that. And they've got dressed up. There's one guy who's a fucking, he's dressed like a Catholic fucking priest, but for whatever fucking reason, everybody wants to call him a pastor for some fucking reason, even though he's dressed up like a goddamn Catholic priest. I thought a pastor was a fucking Baptist or a Christian or like something, you know, something along those lines. And all the fucking fathers from the Catholicism were all called fucking priests. Yeah, the little white collar thing. But at the same time, nobody took in consideration that it's fucking October and it's Halloween around the corner. There's costume shops. Spirit Halloween opened up last fucking month. So, I mean, you really think that was an actual fucking priest that was there protesting with Antifa, causing all this fucking issues? And he was asking to get shot. They were actually... If you look at the videos, because they were on the property, they have the blue line that's marked off, stay behind this fucking line, do not come onto the property. And these people were standing up there and they were throwing their arms out, asking to get shot by the fucking pepper ball fucking snipers on the goddamn roof of the building. Even one dude turned around, showed his back to him, and lifted up his shirt like to give him a fucking target to hit, okay? Some of these people are fucking asking for the abuse so they can go play victim on social media. Oh my God, he shot a priest. Oh. Get the fuck over yourself. Seriously. I've seen better acting from bad porn, okay? Don't give me this fucking shit. I don't want to fucking hear it. Y'all are horrible. I've seen better flops from fucking LeBron. Okay? These are angry, fucking hateful people, and this is all they fucking do. Now, for those of you that can't see this, this is going to be a video of an old couple trying to cross a fucking crosswalk while they're being surrounded by a group of young fucking prick little fucking cunt bags with their faces fucking covered. Well, of course, you know, ICE needs to uncover their face because we need to know who's gonna be kidnapping people, because that's what they do. They kidnap the people. Jesus fuck, dude. All right, let's take a look at this shit. Nazi scum off our streets. It's a fucking old couple trying to cross the goddamn crosswalk. And see, this is how far gone these fucking people are. This is what happens when the fucking media and the goddamn politicians want to call people Nazis all the fucking time, right? This right here, this is just I'm just going to show you a snippet of this one. I'm not going to give you all of this fucking minute and a half because it's stupid ass fucking struggle. But here's a situation to where ICE is making an arrest and these people are coming up and they're trying to grab the person who is being arrested and trying to drag the motherfucker away from ICE as if they're fucking helping. I mean, this shit is fucking ridiculous. He's trying to drag him away from the fucking ICE officer who's trying to arrest him. There's a reason they're getting fucking arrested, right? Because Trump gave them permission to not fucking... Oh, I can't show that video. Hang on a sec. Let me bring this camera up. Now, I can't show you this video itself because there is nudity on this video, right? But the thing is, this is a highway that's in Oregon. I think it's in Portland, to where these people are naked with bicycles laying down all across the fucking road with bicycles. And there's like hundreds of them, right? Says, this is from Nick Sorter, you know, the guy who got fucking assaulted and then turned around and got arrested for getting assaulted in Portland. Says Portland leftists are blocking roads while holding a nude die in protest ICE. Right? And of course, Portland is allowing this for full public nudity. These fucking people, man. Why would you allow this shit? This makes zero fucking sense. 0 cents. Why would you allow something like that? And the thing is, these people are so fucking far gone. This is from somebody I found. Her name is Murica. Gotta love these people. All right, says, oh wow, this lady is cuckoo. She is fear mongering the left and telling her platform of 300,000 followers on TikTok that Trump administration and the right are going to off them. Well, the thing is, even though she does have 300,000 followers, and that's probably like 298,000 followers more than me. If I don't even have 1,000 followers. It's probably a lot more than that. All right, either way, fucking there's influencers out there with millions of followers that are saying the same thing, if not very similar. And let's listen to this crazy bitch.
You guys are aware that they are going to kill us, right? Like, they're going to start killing us and just replicating what we saw during the Holocaust. Except for this time, it won't be the Jews who are persecuted. It will be leftists. Anyone who speaks out, anyone who's left a trail on social media, speaking out against this administration, anyone who has voted for Kamala Harris. They will label anyone they want as Antifa, including Kamala Harris, and then say anyone related or connected or who has donated in any way to her campaign or to whatever cause they deem Antifa, and then they will find us and kill us. You can say I'm being inflammatory, but just watch this clip.
Let's watch this clip together, folks. And for those of you that can't watch, let's listen along.
Violent criminals we can see in the streets. Fighting crime is more than just getting the bad guy off the streets. It's breaking down the organization brick by brick. Just like we did with cartels, we're going to take the same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy the entire organization from top to bottom.
Okay, so we're going to go through an organization that is trying to destroy this country from within, and we're going to find the funding for it, and we're going to take that away. We're going to find the leadership for it, and we're going to take that away. And then we're going to find the foot soldiers for it and take that away. And we're going to hold them accountable to the actions of the traitorous actions that they're doing.
Newsflash, we're the bricks.
Oh my God. Why do they think like this? Why do they believe these things that are being fucking spoken? Oh, here's Edmonton, Canada. For those of you that can't see, instead of just using people and bicycles, yeah, they blocked off roads with fucking chains at a crosswalk in Edmonton, Canada for their protest, right? Listen to what they tell this fucking... There's a person trying to drive through this. Listen to what they tell this person.
You're ruining your car! Idiot idea! Back up! What are you doing?
Now, I agree with that. They are ruining their car, and there's no reason to try to drive through the chain, but I think they're just trying to make a point.
You're messing up your car! You're not gonna get through! You're messing up your car! Just wait! We will leave eventually!
Just wait. We will leave eventually. Motherfucker, how long is fucking eventually? Well, this motherfucker gets tired of it, and he goes around the fucking lamppost, and they got the chain attached to and everything else. But yeah, just wait. We will leave eventually. Are you fucking serious? Dude, your emotions, you have a right to your emotions. You have a right to express your emotions. You have a right to express your thoughts with those emotions. But if you are impeding upon my right to travel with your fucking thoughts and emotions, then your thoughts and emotions have lost all their right and any weight that would go with it to give effect to these rights. These people are fucking crazy. And then they want to justify things, little things. Now they say that we're angry and we're hateful and we're divisive because we want to talk about fucking a dead pedophile is a good pedophile. Or the only good pedophile is a dead pedophile, something along those lines. But then they want to go turn around and they want to say things like this. This is from this one young lady. I forget her name, but I do. Megan Handler. I follow her on TikTok. I like her.
I want people to really ask themselves, what disturbs your spirit so much about the idea of a child also being a sexual being?
Oh, it gets better. Just keep watching.
For those of you that can't see, it's a good thing.
What disturbs your spirit so much about the idea of a child watching a consensual act? What meaning are you attaching to that act? What meaning are you attaching to it? And where does that meaning that you have attached to it come from? Why is it not okay for people, and I'm specifically talking about youth, to engage in a sexual act or to view in a sexual act that is for pleasure?
Oh my God. And yet we are considered the evil ones. I need you guys to take a hot step back and reevaluate where you are in your life if you are fighting for children.
I can't. These fucking people. Oh my God. They're fucking horrible. These fucking people are evil. Just pure fucking evil. Right? This is from Western Lensman. He puts out what Jimmy Kimmel's talking about with Antifa, because Antifa is the new talking point now, right? Because Trump is talking about taking away Antifa. And we're going to label Antifa as a terrorist organization now. So now everybody has the same fucking talking points. Listen to Jimmy.
You understand, there's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa. This is no different than if they announced they rounded up a dozen Decepticons. We've captured the Chupacabra, everyone. And then it was Trump's turn to ratchet up the rhetoric with fiery images conjured from no one has any idea where.
It's probably some fucking AI, the Sora thing that everybody else is fucking using and making jokes with and everything with, like all the Bigfoot shit. There's no such thing as Antifa, but right here from the Washington Examiner, it says Antifa leaders flee America as Trump cracks down on domestic terrorist networks. It's the only ideology that doesn't have a fucking membership but somehow has fucking leaders. But again, this is the new talking point, right? There's no such thing as Antifa. Antifa is an ideology.
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa.
Like, I don't even know what Antifa is.
I have no idea.
It's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers.
Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Their go-to fucking two fucking things that they always want to go to. They want to go to the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, right? Now, they won't go to the Patriot Front very often. They will film the Patriot Front. And they will televise the Patriot Front and compare them to the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes, they will. But they won't mention Patriot Front like that. Why? Because we all know Patriot Front is the only one that is the proud white white supremacists, to where Proud Boys and Oath Keepers do not claim to be white supremacists, even though they get labeled white supremacists by the media, and they've never actually done anything to prove that they seem to be white supremacists, and yet somehow they're labeled white supremacists. But Patriot Front is white supremacists. Patriot Front also has matching uniforms, and the matching uniforms are usually khaki pants, white face masks, and either a blue or black shirt tucked in very neat and professionally. They look a lot like feds. Yeah, they've been compared to as feds. But let's listen. Some of the more talking points. Let's see if they change it up a little bit.
Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
It isn't an organization. It is in many ways mythology.
It's not like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, sort of defined terrorist organizations with leadership that leads violence.
It's not a highly organized movement. It's a moniker. It's not a unified group like the Proud Boys are. Things like Antifa are things that are thought up.
It's all in this guise of going after Antifa, which is nothing. There's no organization.
There's no organization. It's nothing. It's never really been anything but an idea. It's just a fucking thought process, right? They're not really these angry, hateful people. They just stand there with fucking signs and dress up like fucking animals from the fucking, your 80s cartoon shirt to tails, That's all they fucking do is that they're here to help you. I'm calling for Bogey, baby. But, they don't ever do things like this and leave phone calls on fucking house phones of ICE officers like this.
Hi, I'm just calling to say, assuming you're married to and with a last name like that, I don't know how you let your husband work for ICE and you sleep at night. You, your family. I hope your kids get deported by accident. How do you sleep? You. Did you hear what happened to the Nazis after World War II? Because that's what's going to happen to your family.
Yeah, because they don't ever do things like that. That's just not the nice shirt tails type of people they are. And see, here's a video of something else that they just don't do. They don't actually get together in groups and large groups like this. So they'll have the front line standing there like they're doing nothing. So it's the people in the back that start doing the pushing, right? The people in the back start doing this pushing, and that way the crowd can kind of go forward and fight against the police officers that are there trying to, stand there and hold the line and stop them from coming over. But, or they'll have agitators in the back of the group that are unseen and unable to properly identify, throw things into the locked in, fenced in areas and into the fucking crowd of the police officers, because they're not, they don't really harm anybody. They just throw things like this, like firecrackers. I mean, it's a pretty big firecracker. It made like a big flame and everything else. I think those are the old school cherry bombs that we used to play with when we were fucking kids, right? And because of the mainstream media, pushing their narrative, saying that Antifa is just an idea, it's just an ideology, it doesn't really have any real grounding in this country, and there's no real foundation and finances for it or anything else, right? But, I mean, they're just holding signs and protesting against Nazis and kidnappers. It wouldn't help push a narrative to convince people to start thinking and talking like this, now would it?
Why aren't we shooting back at them? Can anybody explain that to me? I don't own a firearm, but if I saw an ICE agent, it would brick right to their fucking dome. So why are the armed citizens not shooting back at them?
This is their fucking thought process, and they think they're in the right for these things. They'll turn around and they'll put out fucking things like this. They'll have a picture of a child with a MAGA hat on, throwing red X's over it, and says, if I see any children dressed up in some MAGA type costume like this little worm, I'm going to be giving them my special hashtag fentanyl laced candy, hashtag Antifa action. These fuckers are fucking sick, man. Something is wrong with these fucking people. I mean, they're willing to poison your fucking children just because they hate Trump so goddamn much and you support Trump. Therefore, you are the enemy of the entire fucking world, not just this nation, the entire fucking world. They hate you so fucking much that they will poison your fucking child because of your fucking political beliefs and because of the way you fucking dressed up. This shit has gotten so insane. Corporations are getting involved. This is a photo right here from a fucking Ring notification. Right? Screenshot, Ring notification. ICE parked at Jordan Elementary. ICE spotted by Ridge and Howard. Be careful out there. That's a neighborhood alert. This is what they're putting out on their Ring neighborhood alerts. Now, I don't know if this is actually Ring itself doing this or if this is just the communications from that. It's probably just the communications from that community on that fucking Ring chat or whatever. But this is what they consider important. Not removing the illegal immigrants taking money and benefits and taxes from you. I mean, never mind the fact that we used to actually get angry about no taxation without proper representation. But Jesus fucking Christ, that went out the window God knows how many fucking decades ago. Right? These people have gone so fucking far insane that they are willing to risk their freedom to harm those in power that they believe are Nazis or working with the Nazis, or harm those that they believe will support or act like Nazis. They believe that your words are so divisive and hateful that the only proper retaliation is violence. This is what they believe. Somebody took 200 fucking explosive devices and he was ready to detonate himself and those devices outside of a church from the Supreme Court mass because 3 Supreme Court judges were there and they were going to be taking them out. Right. And then you've got them so believing that every law official is a bad guy, especially if he's handling a person of color, that you've got to step in, film them, and try to save them by screaming, where's your warrant? Where's his due process? And Jesus fucking Christ, I am so goddamn tired of due fucking process. You have no idea. Due process does not mean the same thing every fucking time for every fucking person that goes in front of anybody. It just... The due process is the process that is due to you for the circumstances of those actions. That's it. That's it. But because these are the talking points of the fucking Democratic Party. Kept wanting to call him posse for a second there. Jesus fuck, I think I need to smoke. It's one of the talking points, right? These people that follow the Democrats and watch the mainstream media so much They don't repeat. They regurgitate. When you give them argumentative facts and rebuttals for debate, and they tell you that those are just Republican talking points, and then go to regurgitate actual Democrat talking points without even comprehending what the fuck that they're saying, just to turn around and call you a racist, misogynist, any other kind of fucking ist, and then just scream at you and run away in anger. Why did they do this? Because these are the people that they're getting their talking points from.
Right now that there is a debate about funding the government. I've been a little bit confused because Republicans, last time I checked, are in control of the House of Representatives.
You ain't
They're
confused.
in control of the Senate, and then the president signs the bill. Okay, but I've heard people suggest that Democrats somehow have the ability to shut the government down. So can you please educate the people on what's happening?
No, you are not confused.
Okay, all right.
You are a
Thank you.
lawmaker. You understand how this works. And, Republicans don't know how to count. But here's the thing. When you're in a legislative body, you control everything. So if the government shuts down, it's on y'all.
Okay, two things from this. One, somebody really needs to remind fucking Ghetto Crockett about fucking filibusters and how they work. And two, listen to how she talks now that she's in office. And let's compare it to how she spoke when she was running for office.
You are not confused.
Okay, all right.
You are a
Thank you.
lawmaker. You understand how this works. And, Republicans don't know how to count. But here's the thing. When you're in a legislative body, you control everything. So if the government shuts down, it's on y'all.
You know how this works. I mean, if the government shut down, it's on y'all. Right? How did she speak when she was running for office?
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. No one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided.
No diss, no y'all. Proper enunciation, restriction of the accent. Sounds like a professional talking voice. If you were going to be a professional and be a professional talking voice, you would hold that fucking talking voice every time you were in front of your fucking, right? It's how I talk to my fucking bosses. I don't sit there and talk to my fucking bosses. Well, I kind of do now because I don't give a fuck and I'm a peon anymore. But whenever I was fucking management and had to talk to fucking corporate offices or I had to talk to fucking police officers, why, yes, I would actually control my accent, control my voice, and I would be a little bit more quiet, more tone, and I would use a little lighter tone. Absolutely. So, just for clarifications, Jasmine Crockett is a fake and a fucking idiot. But at the same time, she's using the same goddamn talking points that all the other fucking Dems are doing by screaming the Republicans have the House, the fucking Senate, and the fucking, White House, right? They have control of it all. The thing is, they're also falling back for the shutdown. They're falling back on the subsidies for Obamacare. Obamacare that they voted in. Obamacare that got too expensive that they had to vote in subsidies to handle Obamacare. And then added COVID subsidies on top of that during COVID. And they're the ones that set the expiration date that's about to run out. But it's all Republicans' fault that everything's about to get expensive. Everything that the Democrats voted for. Let's listen to Jeffries defend himself on this little.
Well, first of all, we
clip.
don't view the current bill as anything other than a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the healthcare of the American people.
It's at levels that you guys have already agreed to. A number of Democrats voted for this extension back in March. It's not adding or detracting anything. It's just continuing the levels of spending that currently exist.
Actually, it's not at levels that we agreed to. Democrats strongly oppose this legislation in the House because, in our view, it gut veterans' health care, gut funding for women and
He's talking about the shit on the big beautiful bill that he's trying to fucking repeal with his fucking $1.5 trillion fucking proposal for the goddamn continuing resolution. The continuing resolution is just the continuation of what was already agreed upon.
infants and children programming, gut funding for affordable housing, and we know we have a housing crisis in this country. Housing costs are too high.
Just to be clear, though,
and
it's not changing current. It's not changing current levels. Nothing's getting cut. It's at levels that you may not like, but it's about extending levels as they currently exist.
See, that's on Fox News. Of course, he's going to get called out on Fox News, but they're actually starting to get called out on CNN. CNN is actually calling them out for some of the shit that they're fucking saying, and some of the shit that they're saying is fucking insane. And they think this is a good thing for them, that they have the people on their side, and they turn around and say shit like this.
One, Punch Bowl, Senator Schumer is quoted saying, "Every day gets better for us." And today, in CNN reported, another senior Democratic aide said, as long as public perception is in their favor, the party will not concede short of planes falling out of the sky.
The party will not concede this fucking shutdown short of planes falling out of the fucking sky. They're doing all of this to you to prove a goddamn point that they hold fucking power, that they can control everything. But that's where they're fucking up, because Trump gets results. Trump gets things done. And they're going to try to fight against that too. Oh, they're going to try to fight hard. And they will feed you shit that you know is not fucking true. How the Democrats can lie like this is beyond me. Listen to some of this shit.
You know, we do well. I appreciate CNN, but I'll tell you, Republicans own most of the media.
Holy fuck. And listen to her examples.
They control Fox News and X or Meta, whatever you call it. Right now the president has purchased or allowed his allies to purchase TikTok. We are hard pressed to get our message.
They're losing control because they don't have fucking X anymore. They never had Fox News. Fox News is only a part-timer for them because, in all honesty, Fox News is fucking crooked too. The only reason why I watch Fox News is for Greg Gutfeld, because I'm going to have Greg Gutfeld do a little talking for me later. But the thing is, they want to use the Fox News and they want to use X. She doesn't even know what the hell Meta is. Maybe it's something she's heard Meta. It's probably one of her fucking investments whenever fucking, Zucker Dick was fucking doing the fucking shit with the Democrats and giving them $700 million fucking dollars for everything on the 2020 election. I'm not fucking doing anything wrong. Here you go, Democrats. Here's some money. And all this other shit. Oh, people are complaining because there's too many goddamn conservatives on X now that we're not being fucking silenced anymore. And Trump is doing everything that he fucking can, but Chuck Schumer said it a while back. They put people in places to fucking stop Trump just in case if he did come back into power. Listen to him.
There are those who believe that we are in real time living through an assault on the constitutional order. Do you believe that we are in a constitutional crisis right now?
Yes, our democracy is at risk because Donald Trump shows that he wishes to violate the laws in many, many different ways. The good news here is we did put 235 judges, progressive judges, judges not under the control of Trump last year on the bench, and they are ruling against Trump.
They are ruling against Trump time and time again, right? because that's what they need to do. Because it's all Trump's fault that we can't get this fucking world fixed. It's all Trump's fault that the fucking thing is not fucking going the way that everything needs to go. But every time Trump does do something to try to fix the fucking situation, we're going to use judges to use injunctions to fucking go against him, right? Because 174 fucking injunctions against the fucking president is nothing, right? That's not a big deal. Everybody gets stuff like that. Because it's the Republicans' fault for everything, especially Trump's fault for everything. Because the Democrats keep saying that it's the Republicans that won't open the government, right? But yet, right here, because they've already passed the continuing resolution in the House of Representatives. You know, the ones that most people usually refer to whenever they speak of Congress. They usually refer to the Senate separately, but whenever they speak generalized, they say Congress. They mean the House of Representatives, unless you actually follow politics a lot of times. That fucking 400 and something fucking people that are in there, they've already passed this continuing resolution, so they don't even need to vote anymore on this. So whenever the Democrats come out and they say that the Republicans have gone on break, well, yeah, they don't need to. But in the Senate, they're still holding votes. They held votes on the September 19th. They held vote again September 19th. That's whenever it passed in the House, and then it went to go pass in the Senate, but they filibustered it. So Republicans voted again on the 30th, and then they voted again on October 1st, and the 3rd, and the 6th, and the 8th, and then the 9th. Then they took the weekend off. Democrats voted no every time. Democrats are the ones that filibustered, right? Democrats are the ones that are screaming that it's the Republicans' fault, but they're voting no on this because they want something. They want 1.5 trillion fucking dollars to fund NPR and PBS and fucking ponytails and fucking sex changes in Uganda and shit like that. And then this came out on October 10th. Now, mind you, checks go out on the 1st and the 15th. The check you get for the 1st is for the time you did from the 15th to the last day of the month, the previous pay period, is what you get on the 1st, right? So, Jeffries is going to try to tell you that they're not getting checks. Trump is helping him get checks, though.
We're already seeing paychecks missed, soldiers lining up at food kitchens. Are you concerned that this fight for health care that Democrats are waging here might end up hurting Americans the longer the shutdown drags out?
Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They decided to shut the government down.
See that? They have the House, the President, and the Senate. They decided to shut it down, even though Chuck Schumer's the one that did the filibuster and is requiring 60 votes.
Republicans in the House have decided to remain on vacation. Republicans canceled votes last week. They canceled votes this week.
In the House, because there is nothing to vote on.
And now they've canceled votes next week. They're not serious about reopening the government. Republicans aren't even serious about paying our active duty troops.
But they have voted for temporary government funding legislation.
Republicans have voted for a partisan spending bill.
That partisan spending bill is what he's trying to call as the fucking clean resolution, right? But here's where the real fucking truth is coming out. See, we're learning little things here and there about what their actual game plan is. They want to keep this government shut down till the fucking 18th.
Yeah, Chucky Schumer, make sure that the people you say you're fighting for, which is a federal employee, goes without a paycheck so you will have talking points at this rally to talk to on Saturday. Good on you. I had a conversation with a Democrat colleague who's wanting to open the government back up, by the way. He said, do you know what's happening on the 18th of October? I was like, I don't have a clue. He said, it's called No King's Day. That's a big protest against President Trump. He said, and our party isn't willing to open the government back up until after that because they're afraid that this large crowd that's supposed to be here in Washington, D.C. protesting President Trump will chastise them. They'll get thrown into the bus, meaning it'll cause them to have primaries to which they're scared to death of. Are you freaking kidding me? It's like Chucky Schumer being afraid of AOC running against him in 2028. This radical Marxist and jihadist.
Whatever his fucking reasonings are, it's all about a fucking campaign. The thing is, it's always a fucking campaign with these fucking people. This is what they do. They lie, they cheat, and they steal, and it's always about fucking optics for them. It's always about these fucking optics. I can't start and they want to say that Trump always chickens out, right? That's their thing. It's taco. Trump always chickens out. But if they chicken out and they give in to this fucking shutdown and they open this fucking government back up before the 18th and they gave in to Trump, and they want to scream it's negotiations. Why can't Trump negotiate with us? Well, the Republicans aren't asking for anything new to add to this continuing resolution. It's not business as fucking usual to where every continuing resolution had something extra added onto it, or everything funding plan had some kind of fucking NDA and some fucking national defense funding had a fucking, Smith month or fucking repealed in there or something like that. We didn't sneak in every goddamn thing. It's just a clean, simple, clean continuing resolution. Right? But they want to fucking put out all this bullshit. And they use the media for this. Here, Nancy Pelosi explains it herself, how they use the media to fucking defame the fucking Republicans and anybody that goes against them.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we...
See, kind of like how they did a little smear with, here recently with Tom Homan. Well, FBI reported that they had a fucking audio, partial fucking tape of him accepting $50,000, right? No. That's been looked into. There was no evidence. Well, it's because Trump is in charge and he's looking out for Tom Homan why there's no evidence. So we have to keep asking 800,000 fucking times, where's the evidence? There is no evidence. We didn't find anything. Yeah, but the FBI said they had. The FBI also said this and this too. The FBI was also part of 274 fucking people that was inside January 6th that the FBI said they didn't have inside there. The FBI also had fucking confidential human informants that the FBI said they didn't have in there. And then there was Antifa that was inside January 6th that the FBI said they didn't have in there. Right? But now they're talking about how Trump is supposedly weaponizing the government. And so the Democrats are trying to give threats. They're trying to talk about it. Well, if Trump is going to weaponize the government, then we're going to weaponize the government against Trump whenever we get back into power. But I hate to tell him, I don't think he's going to get back into power. Listen to him.
So there's two things to keep in mind here. First of all, there's accountability for the corruption and the chaos that Donald Trump has unleashed on the American people from the very beginning of his presidency on January 20th.
See, there's no... This man is like the Timu robot Obama. He's got no passion. He's got no emphasis in his voice. He's got no feeling in his voice. It's like somebody removed his emotions through his asshole, He went to go visit Obama, and Obama's like, I'm gonna make you the new Mike. And just kind of went, ditty deep into him, and next you know, he comes out and he's talking, but there's no fucking emotion. I digress.
That should be tied directly to the Supreme Court and the 6 right-wing justices who basically gave Donald Trump, without justification, blanket immunity. And he's been out of control ever since.
He has been out of control ever since. Donald Trump is, for somebody that's so fucking angry, he ain't got no he can't even open his eyes all the fucking way. I mean, is he drugged up or something? For fuck's sake, man. And Governor Pritzker, he thinks he's being a fucking hero right here. I will not back down. Trump is now calling for the arrest of elected representatives, checking his power. What else is left on the path to full-blown authoritarianism? He didn't call for your arrest. He just said you should be arrested or in jail for not fucking protecting ICE officers is what the fuck he said. He didn't say that go arrest him. He's not calling for your fucking arrest. It's not like the goddamn Queen of Hearts going, off with your head. Are you fucking serious? This is how they over dramatize everything, right? And even the Republicans are bad about over dramatizing some of this shit right here. Like, all right, so you got one representative from the fucking Republicans who's coming down. He's trying to make a show of it and get Hakeem Jeffries. Why don't you sign the clean air bill, brother? We got other people signing the clean air bill, brother. Come on, sign the CR bill, right? And Hakeem Jeffries trying to be, you need to shut your mouth. Just listen to him. They have you ever heard toddlers argue and debate on the playground?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss Donald Trump?
You can easily extend
Did your
the
boss,
ACA
did your
right
boss
now.
Donald Trump
He's
give
not
you?
my boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
You voted for the one big
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a
The
tax cut
largest-
bill that gave the
the
largest
largest
tax
cut-
cut
the
to
largest-
Americans in history,
the
including, by
largest-
the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're not going
Wasted.
to talk. You're not going to talk to
Wasted
me. You're not
on
going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm listening.
So why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
See, you're not going to talk to me. You're not going to talk to me and talk over me. You're just going to keep your mouth shut. Dude, come on, man. Come on. I can't with some of these people. They just, I guess it would be more tolerable if they were better actors. I guess, maybe. And fucking Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, he's having an absolute fucking shit fit because not only is he being threatened, saying that he needs to be put in jail because he's trying to make his fucking ice-free zones because, you know, gun-free zones work so well. We're going to try ice-free zones and see if that stops them. Never mind, the only thing you're stopping is the fucking Mexican dude with the bicycle and the bells trying to send you fucking give you the frozen fucking popsicles and shit. He's having a fit because ICE came in and raided a fucking building. And they arrested 37 illegal aliens. They also rescued several fucking children. And they confiscated over 200 fucking illegal firearms from this fucking building in Chicago. The same building that everybody tried to lie about and say that they zip-tied fucking little kids or whatever. Listen to his fucking excuse. Listen to when he's asked about it.
This is a fundamental attack on our democracy. It's not about immigration. It's not about safety. It's about authoritarianism. And we're going to push back and we're going to defend Chicago and all American cities against this tyrant.
Okay, but let me just go to the issue, like at the Chicago apartment building overnight last week. This is, according to DHS, 37 undocumented immigrants were arrested in that operation. The building was targeted because it was known to be frequented by Tren de Aragua gang members. I mean, how do you respond to people who say these sorts of efforts are making the country safer?
Look, I'm working hard every single day to build the safest, most affordable big city in America. Just this past summer, we had the fewest amount of homicides since 1965. Homicides are down, shootings are down, shooting victims are down. A lot of work to be done, but we are building a safe, affordable big city in America. But I don't know if there's anybody in America that believes that armed, masked men showing up with Black Hawk helicopters, sticking guns in the faces of black women, zip tying black children, putting.
See that? See that? See that? Zip tying black children? Wrap up smear.
immigrants in one van, putting black folks in another van. This is not what built safety. What built safety is to make sure that we're doing what I've done, working with the ATF and my local law enforcement.
Working with the ATF and his local law enforcement and Antifa and the local gangs to allow them to get away with that so they can have the cashless bail and everything else, right? Jesus fuck. All right. Smoke break. All right. Where was I? I feel much better. All right. So we talked about how the Democrats have been lying and everything. And the mainstream media is pretty much an extended arm of the fucking Democrats. They tried to pull, this is from George Papadopoulos right here. He says they tried to pull the fake bribery scam with me with a $10,000 attempt and attempt abroad. Says I quickly gave the money to my lawyers and reported the situation, a move that single-handedly dismantled Mueller's attempt to weaponize intel agencies and foreign governments against me just months into the Trump administration. Same disturbing playbook with Tom Homan. He did not take their bait. They only go after the most effective. They knew Tom Homan was going to be dangerous. The way that he was talking, the way that he was fucking testifying to Congress and everything else. They knew he was going to be dangerous. They had to try to set him up. Listen how fucking J.D. Vance, I love J.D. Vance. Listen how he handles this situation.
The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
George, you've covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear. And the reason you guys are going after Tom Homan so aggressively is because he's doing the job of enforcing the law. I think it's really preposterous. I know Tom. I think that he's a good man. He gets death threats. He gets attacked.
And he goes on and on and on about that. I love J.D. Vance. He does tend to talk a lot. Of course, I talk a lot too, but that's why I kind of do this. So the thing is that they're trying to push this Tom Homan thing. I'm trying to say that Tom Homan was cleared because he's working for Trump, and everybody that's getting indicted and in trouble is because they're only in trouble because they went after Trump. Well, that's halfway true. Yes, they went after Trump, but they cheated to try to get Trump, and because they cheated, they're now being held accountable. Right? Everybody's asking all these goddamn questions about fucking Letitia James and Scott Jennings. He asked the right question. He's the only one that asked the right questions on CNN. He says, why aren't we just asking the basic question? Like, is she fucking guilty? Right? But the media is not really pushing this guilty part. They're pushing this autocracy type of scenario. They're pushing this authoritarianism from Trump. Listen to what Schumer says about this shit. He goes on MSDNC. Listen to what he says.
It is just such a hallmark of tyrannical, autocratic dictatorship societies that they use the prosecutorial department as a political weapon. It is a disgrace, and every American, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, moderate, people should be forcefully rising up against this. It is
forcefully rising up against this. Isn't this the same fucking reason why we're trying to get the goddamn National Guards over there to protect the fucking ICE? Right? And everybody's trying to say that Trump's breaking the Constitution by sending the National Guard. Motherfucker, they work for the executive branch, all right? They're trying to say that Trump can't fire these fucking people. They work for the fucking executive branch. If the CEO of the fucking company can't fire the fucking people for the company that work for him, then what's the whole fucking point of being the goddamn chief executive officer? I mean, seriously. Are you there just for fucking show? No. It's just They're still arguing about the fucking health care, trying to say that that they're not giving illegal immigrants health care, even though some other fucking news agencies are saying that they are giving the illegal immigrants health care. And then they try to get you on these fucking gotcha moments. Dana Bash, dude, she's one of the worst fucking ones. I can't stand this bitch. She tried to get fucking Jim Jordan on something. You don't fuck with Jim Jordan. Listen to what she tries to say about weaponizing the fucking Justice Department.
President Trump named 3 people in that Truth Social post to Attorney General Pam Bondi that he wanted prosecuted. 2 of them have now been indicted. You're not only the Judiciary Chair, you also lead a subcommittee on weaponization of federal government. So will you be looking into this?
Well, look, I think that this Justice Department is applying the facts to the law. I mean, if John Bolton, a federal judge, thought there was probable cause when they searched John Bolton's house, you had mentioned him, that he mishandled classified information, apply the facts to the law. We'll see if they prosecute there.
They will be indicting John Bolton from what I hear. Word is he's going to be indicted come Monday because of the fact that there was classified documents in his home.
We know with Letitia James, for example, that you can't say it's your secondary residence and then, in fact, make it an investment property. It looks like she did that. They're applying the facts to the law, and there's that investigation. And, of course, we know with Jim Comey that he specifically hired this individual, Daniel Richmond, to leak information. He laundered information through Richmond, leaked that information out there. The Comey memos, for goodness sake, went through Mr. Richmond. And then Comey, when he testifies, says something different.
So here's my thing. If information gets out there and we actually understand and we know what these people are guilty of because of the fact of what is being revealed to us, right? Through documentation, through testimonials and so forth and such. So if we actually get this information out there, right? I mean, because there's been, how many fucking times have you sat there and you watched the fucking news and you've watched these congressional hearings and you've said, why isn't anything happening? If these people are guilty, if they're lying, if we know they're lying, we've caught them lying, why aren't they being arrested for lying to Congress under oath? Well, now people are actually getting arrested and indicted, and they're calling it a weaponization of the fucking Justice Department, right? But here's where we get to the actual truth. See, sometimes the media, they fuck up and they say the quiet part out loud. Listen to what this man says right here.
And it's so hard for people who want to root for American success to root for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is doing both of these things at the same time.
You hear that? Listen to it again. Let's listen to it again.
And it's so hard for people who want to root for American success to root for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is doing both of these things at the same time.
It's so hard to root for American success, right? Let me make sure I got this right.
And it's so hard for people who want to root for American success.
For people who want to root for American success. So these people want American success.
To root for Donald Trump.
But they don't want to root for Donald Trump. And because Donald Trump is bringing success to America, they can't find themselves to do this.
Because Donald Trump is doing both of these things at the same time.
I agree with everything you just said. It is hard for Democrats to root for America's success because they're so broken by.
See how he's trying to correct himself? He says, I said I root for America. He didn't say him when in his statement, he said Americans, and Scott Jennings is repeating the Americans.
Donald Trump.
Root for Donald
this
Trump.
Is the core problem of the Democratic Party. You cannot bring yourself to root for America because Donald Trump is the president.
That's
he
not
absolutely
fair, Scott.
He deserves.
It's not so much they can't root for the America. They can't root for success of America because it's the results of what Donald Trump is doing. Right? Now, here's the thing. Now they're starting to get pissy, and I think I can almost promise you, don't quote me on this, but I can almost promise you, because Trump has found out he's using tariff money to pay for WIC with the shutdown, because WIC is government funded. So Trump is going to pay for it with tariff money. $300 billion of tariff money. He's going to use it to pay WIC through this shutdown. Then he told Pete Hegseth, find me some fucking money. Look through your budget, find me some money, and pay these goddamn soldiers. And that's what he did. Right? So how does the left feel about it?
Let me raise this to you, Senator. President Trump put out a social media post just hours ago claiming he has directed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to use available funds to pay the troops on Wednesday. This after Republicans blocked a measure in the House just yesterday to make sure they got paid during the shutdown.
They didn't block a fucking measure in the fucking House.
What's your response to this development? Assuming the president actually can do this, does it change the negotiations at all?
Right. Democrats, look, we want to pay the men and women in our armed forces, and the quickest way to do it would be for Johnson to come back and negotiate a bill that protects Americans' health care, and then everyone, our soldiers, our...
And he goes back on the fucking health care kick and everything else. I mean, Jesus fuck, dude. It's... They can't stand the fact that he's pulling off the fucking wins, that he's learned how to do this. Hell, he's even created fucking peace in the Middle East. This motherfucker negotiated the goddamn peace deal through Hamas and Israel. I mean, think about this. It's almost like he's proven it's easier to negotiate with terrorists than it is with Democrats. How did he do it? Strength through peace. How do they feel about it on CNN here?
Behavior and how he conducts himself and how he values democratic norms, does that play into whether or not he would deserve a peace prize for this one specific issue in the Mideast? I think that's what you're asking, Abby. And I don't have the answer to that because I don't know what criteria the Nobel Committee uses. But I think it's a legitimate concern. And you talk about him brokering peace around the world. He's pissing off our allies. He is creating bad blood with his bad trade deals. He once said that Ukraine was the aggressor in the war. And so there have been some very egregious comments he's made on the international stage.
So he's pissing off our allies, right? But he's creating peace across the fucking world. Dude, he's negotiated peace in all kinds of fucking places. Not just in fucking with the Abraham Accords, right? Not just with Israel and Hamas. He did some shit with fucking Rwanda. He did some other shit too. I forget. Here's another prime little example of Democrats trying to tell you that there's no such thing as fucking Antifa with some of the mainstream media push. This Keith Ellison motherfucker right here. Apparently he tweeted out one time at Moon Palace Books, and I just found the book that strike fear in the heart of fucking real Donald Trump. And it's Antifa, the anti-fascist handbook. But what's he got to say to the mainstream media when he talks to them?
So the fact that there is no, nobody even knows what it is. The first person I ever heard use the word Antifa was Donald J. Trump.
I would hope he knows what it is. I mean, he's holding the fucking handbook. If he can't figure out what it is after reading the handbook, then apparently it's a very poorly written handbook. I mean, you're supposed to understand what you're going to be dealing with and what you're going to be associating yourself with, right? You would want that, at least that kind of understanding after reading the handbook. And then they try to lie to your fucking face. The media will lie to your face just like the fucking Democrats will lie to your face. Don Lemon, this motherfucker right here. Jesus Christ, man. If there was ever a fucking softer piece of fucking chocolate I've ever fucking seen, geez, this piece of shit. So he's trying to talk to these fucking people right? And he's trying to talk to them about immigration and ICE and see what they think. And he's trying to be the man on the street with the people of the street.
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. It's a misdemeanor.
So
A misdemeanor is a fucking crime. He just said it right there at the beginning of the goddamn clip. The clip's a minute and fucking 40 seconds long. I don't have to play any of the clip except for the first fucking 5 seconds. And he's already considered proving himself a fucking moron. He's supposed to be a goddamn reporter, and he said, no, a misdemeanor is not a crime. Well, Jesus fuck, man. That means my DWI that I got back in fucking 99 is not a fucking crime. I think I need to make a fucking phone call, contact that goddamn judge, and get it off my fucking record, right? I mean, misdemeanor is not a crime. Jesus fuck these people. This is what we need more of. Sheriff Grady Judd, fucking Florida. This man does not give two shits. Listen to how this media is trying to protect the fucking criminals when questioning this man.
Sure, if you're not allowed to use deadly force for a property crime, why do you say he would have been justified in killing her?
First off, he tried a carjacking with a lady, and then he was doing a burglary of a vehicle, and he was in the string of a group of felonies at the time. When you start trying to carjack somebody's car at a gas station, you're subject to get shot, and shot a lot.
Did he have a weapon?
He doesn't have to have a weapon, brother. You can carjack with just pure violence and force.
You don't think that's a dangerous message you're putting out?
That is an absolute correct message I'm putting out to Polk County citizens. You try to break into somebody's car and steal it while they're there with it, that's called armed carjacking.
It should be dangerous to the fucking criminals. Why the hell's the goddamn reporter talking about is that a dangerous message you should be putting out? What? These criminals need to be fucking fearful of committing the fucking crime. That's the whole fucking point, man. That's the whole fucking point. That's why citizens are fucking armed, all right? Criminals should be fearful of committing a fucking crime because of the causes to the fucking actions, man. The consequences. That's why the government doesn't go. That's why they're trying everything they fucking can to try to slightly remove little pieces of guns here and there, right? All while telling you that you're using divisive fucking rhetoric. Disrespected Trucker tweets this guy out right here. I don't know. This guy, his name is, what the fuck is his name? Jesse Kelly DC. Listen to him. Because this is the God's honest fucking truth.
Nobody on the right can turn down the temperature. The temperature can only be turned down from the left. And let's be frank about this. Let's just be frank about this. They watched an ambush of Steve Scalise and others, and they didn't turn down the temperature. They watched Donald Trump get shot in the ear and another man get his head blown off that day, and they didn't turn down the temperature. Another assassin tried to kill Donald Trump, but they didn't turn down the temperature. Charlie Kirk died out in the open, on video for everyone to see, and they didn't turn down the temperature.
ICE is getting attacked. Cars are boxing them in, ramming them in, and they're still not turning down the temperature. They're cranking the motherfucker up.
They're not going to turn down the temperature. They're going to turn it up. And someone's going to die. And it sucks.
And that's the fucking truth. That's just basically, that's the fucking truth, right? And they want to try to fucking tell you that we're some kind of fucking occult because we follow Donald Trump and everything else. We disagree with each other more than anything. If you're on that fucking side, you have to agree with every goddamn thing that they fucking go along with. Yes, it's okay to be cats and fucking dogs and allow your kids to fucking piss and shit in a goddamn litter box. That's just fucking fine. You're not allowed to disagree with them whatsoever. They will get onto you worse than fucking Scientologists, and those are some crazy motherfuckers. But they want to tell you that we're in a cult. Listen how they fucking talk. Tim Pool, God bless him. I don't agree with everything that he fucking says either, right? He's like our, he talks at 100 miles an hour. He's like, he's our He is our reverse destiny. This motherfucker right here is the only one that can truly take on destiny.
Say the left is a cult. I can do the same thing with the right. I can say they're completely insane. Look at these nutbags on Twitter.
You'd be wrong.
Really?
Yeah. The popular vote winner, Donald Trump, was a Democrat. RFK Jr., former liberal. Tulsi Gabbard, former liberal. Elon Musk, former liberal. Tim Pool, former liberal. I never voted Republican. I didn't like Republicans. And now the Republican MAGA movement, not the neocons, is an eclectic bunch of diverse views which debate each other. Charlie Kirk, Christian conservative, invites moderate pro-choice Tim Pool onto his stage to discuss those views to the public. On the left, what do you think would happen if you went and opposed their views at a public forum? You'd be threatened with violence. Booking liberals to come on my show.
We have the same problem. Yeah. They don't want to talk.
I can sit in front of a libertarian like Dave Smith and Charlie Kirk at the same time, and we leave with beers in our hands, smiles on our faces. And Dave will say, Charlie, I really do appreciate it. I think you do good work. I know we disagree. The left doesn't do that. They firebomb your building. You could not define what they believe. It's impossible.
They can't even fucking define what they believe. They can't even define a fucking woman, much less anything they fucking believe, right? But they're going to get on TV and they're going to lie to you and tell you that it's the fucking truth on a daily fucking basis. They won't even admit to shit that they've been fucking involved in. Right? They're going to tell you Antifa isn't fucking real. This, again, this is back from October 5th, after the reports of ICE vehicles being fucking attacked and boxed in. Listen to what the governor of fucking Illinois says.
And take out the bad guys.
DHS says that CBP officers shot and wounded a woman in Chicago yesterday after, they say, she allegedly rammed a law enforcement vehicle and agents were boxed in by multiple cars. The spokesperson for DHS, Tricia McLaughlin, accused Chicago police of leaving the scene and refusing to assist agents in securing the area. What do you know about this incident? Were federal agents boxed in and assaulted?
Well, we don't have a lot of facts. What happens in these sorts of incidents is typically ICE puts out a press release before anybody else can speak with the press, and then it gets reported on social media and elsewhere. Remember, these are the same folks who killed a person, unarmed person, just a couple of weeks ago.
See, so he's trying to set the fucking record and everything else, trying to paint the picture of these people being the fucking villains. Just like the question, how the question painted the ICE officers as the fucking villains. Because listen to how he set up the question. He said the DHS reports that this woman was shot by these people after allegedly boxing them in.
Out the bad guys.
DHS says that CBP officers shot and wounded a woman in Chicago yesterday after, they say, she allegedly rammed a law enforcement.
Right? See how he phrased that fucking that question itself? CBP fucking officers shot and wounded a woman after, they say, she allegedly. But the thing is, they can twist the truth all they fucking want and try to make it sound going against what's necessary, but that's we're exposing them. We're exposing them for everything that they are. Judge Boasberg, right? Same judge that ruled against Trump on several fucking things. I think it was with the tariffs. Also the same judge that protected Ray Epps, and everybody knows who Ray Epps is. If you don't, I highly recommend looking him up. Gave Ray Epps probation. And that was after constant fucking online harassment about the fact that he was there. Constant fucking video showing him talking about trying to go into the fucking Capitol. See if I have it right here. Here we go. Here's Mr. Ray Epps himself. Let's listen.
Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol.
See, That's what he said. That was January 5th. He said this shit. And let's listen how everybody responds to him. No, don't think so. So we already knew. We already did not trust the fucking government and the fucking Federal Bureau of Investigations back then on January 5th, 2021. Right? So we already knew they were some crooked motherfuckers. We already didn't fucking trust them. And we already knew they were going to be sending insurgents. They had confidential human informants. CHIs. Right? They denied ever having any of this. Then they said they couldn't talk about it because it was under investigation. And then they had ABC fucking produce their goddamn crooked fucking congressional fucking committee hearings so they can have their January 6th committee and so they can stage everything and make it look all fucking pretty and showy for fucking ABC, right? While Nancy Pelosi had her fucking daughter film a fucking documentary. A documentary, mind you, that still hasn't ever come out, not that I fucking know of. But she was there filming that shit. And because so much came out about it. Right? And they want to try to say that Trump was divisive and he was evil and he ruled them on by telling them to go peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Hell, they tried to impeach him with Ukraine. Now it's come out with conversations of Joe Biden having fucking conversations with Poroshenko, who was the leader of Ukraine before fucking Zelensky took over, talking to him about firing that fucking prosecutor. Here Donald Trump puts out, he says the Ukraine impeachment of me scam was far bigger illegal hoax than Watergate. I sincerely hope the necessary authorities, including Congress, are looking into this. Adam Schiff was so dishonest and corrupt. So many laws and protocols and violated and just plain broken. President DJT. I think Schiff was a big part, really big part of that impeachment. It was either him or Raskins that changed up the fucking the text of the transcript for the phone call, trying to make it look hideous. This is from DC Drano. He's the one that tweeted out the picture of the thing. Says Biden used $1 billion in American tax dollars as leverage to get the prosecutor to stop investigating his son's bribery scheme. Trump was going to expose it, so they impeached him for it. And that's true. That's true. Hell, we got one of the members right here, Tim Burchett. He's a representative telling Tucker Carlson Congress is going to destroy America with the way everything's going. The Democrats, they're just constantly exposing themselves for who they really are. This is Katie Porter. She's running for governor for California. Now they're asking her questions about if she's going to need the Trump supporters and the Trump voters. What is she going to do to try to gain their votes? And she's getting snotty. She's like, why would I need them? Why would I need them? And so the reporter starts asking follow-up questions, and well, Miss Katie Porter has a problem with that.
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Are we sure Katie Porter's not improving? Because in her previous negative interactions with other human beings, she once, I think, poured a pot of hot scalding mashed potatoes.
I think, yeah, that was her husband, ex-husband or something. Might be ex-husband now, but was her husband at one time. She poured scalding hot mashed potatoes on him. I think I have some more stuff with her. Oh, she's horrible. She wants to have women and men's sport. I mean, men and women's sports. Let's see, where's some more? There's something else. I know I had some. Oh, okay. So she's filming this little fucking ad thing with Elizabeth Warren or whatever, and goes off on her fucking assistant. Now they bleep out her assistant's name and stuff, but her assistant kind of pokes her head into the fucking shot. Just listen to this bitch. I don't know how anybody could work for her.
We did a study recently this fall in September, and what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't make the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that.
Bitch, you was wrong on your goddamn lines, and you worried about her being in your fucking shot when you're gonna have to reshoot the sumbitch anyways, because you got the goddamn lines wrong. Jesus fuck. I mean, they're exposing themselves for who they really are, and then somehow or another they can't help but expose themselves for the fucking cheating they plan on doing either. There's some votes. We got some votes coming up in California, not just a governor vote coming up, but you've got Proposition 50 right here. So Proposition 50, either they're trying to push is for the redistricting in California, right? And if you do not want this, then they're going to know before they even look at it, because it's. For those of you that can watch, follow along. For those of you that cannot see, I will kind of guide you. So this is a ballot right here. And so this man's going to place this ballot. He's circled in the no on the Proposition 50. And he's circled in this no. Now, if you notice right here on the signature line, there's a block for the signature line on the envelope itself, not on the ballot. The ballot does not have a place for the signature. It's going to be on the envelope that you're sending this. There's got a spot for the signature. But for some fucking reason, this spot for just this box area, it's got 2 holes in it. And we don't know what these holes are for. Well, let's play this video and see if we can find out what these holes are for. So
vote is cast right here.
Right. So he circled the no, right? Filled in that little bubble for the no. He's going to put his ballot in the envelope, right? We're going to tap it down, get it to the edge, and voila. That little bubble for the no shows up perfectly in the center of the left hole where your signature will be. So, now, mind you, you can turn the ballot around and it will not show through that hole unless they have a hole on the other side of the envelope. I don't know. Maybe. I would want to look on the other side of that envelope. But there's a way for them to see that you voted against it, and that gives them a chance to possibly maybe, I don't know, lose your ballot. I mean, that they're exposing themselves for every fucking thing. And more information is coming out. This right here, Wall Street Apes puts out, it says Maryland Inspector General for Education estimates over the last 6 years, Democrats spent over $990 million to educate students who couldn't be accounted for. They weren't in the class.
This letter, written by the Maryland Inspector General for Education, Rick Henry, is eye-opening.
It's very alarming.
In his letter, Henry includes this chart, which
shows years 2019 all the way through to 2025 every year.
shows the number of instances where students were labeled whereabouts unknown going back to 2019 and including an estimated number for 2025. The official 2025 state number has not yet been released. Henry then multiplies the cost per student average for each year by the number of whereabouts unknown designations and estimates this issue could have cost taxpayers nearly $1 billion.
From 2019 to 2020, they had 6,000 students that they were paying for that were unknown whereabouts. From 20 to 21, it was 7,000. 21 to 22, 8,000. 22 to 23, 9.9 thousand, almost 10,000. 23 to 24, 10.9 thousand, almost 11. And then from 24 to 25, 11.9, almost $12,000. I mean, 12,000 children. Why is this rising so much every year that they're paying for students? It's like they're keeping students on the fucking grades or in the classes just to gain the fucking money, right? The shit is getting fucking insane. But we're getting results. We're getting things done. Or at least Trump is getting things done. They don't like how it's getting done either. Because apparently there's other billionaires that want to get involved. Because remember how they was talking about, well, they got a MAGA person that bought TikTok? Listen to this.
A fucking MAGA person just bought Dominion voting systems. We are officially fucked. Let's get into it.
MAGA person has bought Dominion voting systems. That is fucking amazing. Because if that's the truth and that's what actually happened, then we'll find out how shit like this fucking happens. Now, in this video, this is a live feed from CNN, and this is for the California governor recall. Should Governor Newsom be recalled? Now, this happened some time ago, right? And so far, they only have like half the vote in. And can't see that. You only have half of the vote in. And it's the no's are 4,530,002. The yeses are 2,225,915, right?
And we have a key race alert for you as more and more of the raw votes come in. And look,
See, there it is. Right there. But we let this play out. And while they're talking, can't really see on this little ticker, but ooh, there's an update. There's a little flash, right? See if I can do this. Wait.
If your Keep Newsom number stays anywhere close to that, the governor is going to think that it's a mandate by the people of California.
See that? Did you see that? That 2 million. See if I can do that one more time. Watch this 2 million down here at the bottom.
In Texas on COVID. If your Keep Newsom number stays anywhere close to that,
Blam!
the governor is going to.
That 2 million went from 2,200,000 to 1,874,000. But the no's didn't change. Just the yeses went away. So how does shit like that happen? Right? That's the question we need to fucking find out. How does shit like that happen? That shit's going on in California, and now we got this shit happening in fucking New York State.
You know, Director Lyons, I saw something that startled me. That was ICE arresting an Indian national, an illegal alien operating an 18-wheeler in Oklahoma. And you can see on your screen now, he was carrying a New York State issued commercial driver's license that could also be used as a real ID. His first name was listed as, quote, no name given. That's literally a real ID he was arrested with. Meanwhile, ICE has arrested at least 90.
No name given. How the fuck do you have a no name given on an official commercial fucking driver's license? Oh, and by the way, for the redistricting of the maps, it's now been official and it's been verified that it was the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee that paid for the redistricting of the maps for California. So just so you know, there was no partisanship involved. It was Democrat people who paid this company to redistrict, to remove red districts, but it's nonpartisan. Just so we're clear. Meanwhile, here's an old story on J.B. Pritzker that he probably doesn't want to hear people talk about. See, this is the stuff that we're learning more and more of.
J.B. Pritzker, his wife, and his brother-in-law are now under federal criminal investigation. They allegedly used toilets to avoid taxes. Governor Pritzker purchased this mansion in Chicago back in 2007. It remained vacant for years. According to the Chicago Tribune, all the toilets were removed from the home in October 2015. Doing that allowed the home to be classified as uninhabitable. It changed the property assessment value from $6 million to $1 million. Pritzker profited about $330,000 between tax breaks and tax savings. Today, he maintained that he followed the rules.
He maintained that he followed the rules.
I'm very confident that any review of this matter will show that all the rules were followed. Last October, my opponents raised this issue, and it became a political subject last October.
The governor says he has not been contacted by any law enforcement. Back in October, the governor pledged to repay that.
Well, that old news is coming out now, which means there's a good chance that they might be looking into it, right? And it's funny to me that they want to talk about it. It's all weaponizing of the fucking of our government right now, right? And they talk a big fucking game. Letitia James, at one time, she tweeted out, this is back in 2024, when powerful people cheat to get better loans, it comes at the expense of hardworking people. Everyday Americans cannot lie to a bank to get a mortgage. And if they did, our government would throw the book at them. There simply can be different, or cannot be different rules for different people. So why is she wanting different rules for her fucking mortgage and bank fraud that she's trying to commit right now? So see, they've been fucking around for so fucking long. We're in the find out stages, right? And it's not just the Democrats that are finding out that we're not buying into their bullshit anymore. It's not just the media finding out that the viewers don't give a shit about them, right? And don't always believe them. It's the people that the media wants shit on as well, too, right? Soon as the Democrats turn their back on somebody, the media starts shitting on them. Because remember how I said the media is the extended arm of the Democrat, right? Or actually, I wouldn't even say the arm. I would say more of the fucking an extended mouth of the Democrat. The media is so, you remember that old fucking cartoon with the two fucking dogs? You got the big dog and the little dog's bouncing around about what are we going to do today, Spike? We're going to get the cat today, Spike? We're going to beat up the cat today, Spike? What are we going to do today, Spike? Yeah, little guys kind of like the media for the Democrats. Because Mayor Eric Adams, well, whenever he wouldn't play along and he got tired of all the immigrants and he couldn't figure out his fucking budget and he started asking about closing the fucking border back when Biden was still in office and he said, we need to close the border. Well, Jesus fuck, all of a sudden the Democrats found something and started charging against him and he was wrong for doing whatever the fuck. Trump gets in office, looks at it, and says, let's drop this fucking case. It ain't worth the shit. Right? So Eric Adams, he's got a little thing for Trump now. Because remember what I said, it's vote blue no matter who until it affects you. But let's listen how old Mayor Eric Adams, or ex-Mayor Eric Adams, handles his media.
What's going on, Kelly? Do you feel they weaponized me? Of course. You can answer. You asked me about others, but I remember how you covered me. You didn't feel they weaponized me? I was indicted for calling the fire department to do a building inspection. And many of you who covered me during that time were salivating at the thought that Eric will go to jail for 33 years. So don't start asking me about what do I think about what's going on now. I want to know what did y'all think about when my life was destroyed in this city. And I wish I had a mic so I can drop it right now.
He ain't hearing none of that shit. Right? So we're in the fucking find out stages for a lot of these people that fucked around as much as they fucking did. Letitia James got indicted. It's not a weaponization. It's a find out fucking moment. It's accountability. Right? Miss Katie Porter. She fucked up. She lost her tantrum on TV too many fucking times. Now she's in the find out stages because even CNN's ratting her out.
I think that Katie Porter's making history because she has potentially annihilated her chances to be the next governor of California more so than any other candidate I've ever seen so quickly. My goodness gracious, what are we talking about right here? Well, let's take a look. Chance to be the next California governor. According to the Kalshi prediction market, Katie Porter's chances have fallen through the floor. Just 2 days ago, she was the plurality leader in the prediction markets at 40%. Now, get this, her chance has fallen by more than half to just 16%.
Yeah, see, she was at 40% over Padilla, and she's now at 16%. Padilla's got a better chance, right? I actually think we've got a good shot at getting a Republican governor over into California. I honestly believe this. I think we've got a good shot of getting a Republican governor over New Jersey, a Republican governor over in Virginia, because the way these people are exposing themselves, the way they talk, the way they're just lying to everybody's faces and people aren't fucking buying it anymore. They're not going to fucking deal with it, right? And the Democrats are losing their power. They're losing their hold. Because Roosevelt put out, the RIFs have begun. See, the Democrats thought they were going to be able to use the shutdown as a fucking kind of like a hostage situation. We're going to hold these fucking people hostage. Trump doesn't negotiate with terrorists. We're not going to deal with that. You want to hold these people hostage? Fine. I'm going to use tariff money and we're going to pay for WIC. We're going to find other money in the defense fund and we're going to pay for our fucking soldiers. We're going to cover things. We're going to make sure things run. Now, you're going to have your people in the TSA and everybody else and all these fucking people, they're going to walk out because they're anti-Trump, because they're pro-government. They want more government because they're part of government. Absolutely. But Trump's getting rid of shit. Getting rid of programs. Getting rid of people. And they don't like how he's answering these questions.
How many layoffs have you authorized for this first round, and from which agencies?
And it will be Democrat-oriented because we figure, they started this thing, so they should be Democrat-oriented. It'll be a lot, and we'll announce the numbers over the next couple of days, but it'll be a lot of people, all because of the Democrats. I mean, they want to give $1.5 trillion to people that came into the country illegally. More important than that, because we all have a big heart. We want people to be taken care of, but we have 0 people coming in. You know that, Glenn.
All right, he's going to go on because we all know how Trump fucking talks. But the thing is, he's getting shit done. The Democrats want to do the shutdown. Democrats are going to feel the pain because Democrats are going to be the ones getting fired. It's just how it's going to work, right? You have reporters on here getting pissed off because CNN is showing how much everybody loves what Trump is doing. James Woods on here tweeting the slush fund, keeping the Democrats from the brink of insolvency, is finished. As are they, by the grace of God. Because the Right Pulse News tweets out right here, it says, breaking the U.S. Department of has announced that the closure of USAID and informed nearly all remaining staff that they are fired. USAID is done. It's closed. Italy's got a new fucking prime minister who leans towards the right and is a Trump supporter. The world is fucking changing, folks. These people are terrified. Right here, here's another fucking terrified person going on a rant about the fucking Trump supporter buying the fucking Dominion's voting system. You know, the ones that they said couldn't be tampered with?
Voting systems. One of the biggest voting tech companies in the country. Well, they were just bought out by a man who is a major Trump supporter. This is not random, it's strategic. Just a quick recap. Dominion was the company that Trump allies were literally freaking out about conspiracy theories about a rigged election in 2020. And now someone that aligns with the same political movement owns the fucking company. That means one of the largest systems used to count and verify your votes is now under control to a man that is loyal to the same guy that tried to overturn the 2020 election. You can call that a coincidence if you want, but to me, this is not screaming democracy. This is screaming a precursor to dictatorship. First they went after the courts, then the schools. Now it's the voting systems. Every single move is about control. Control of the message, control of the laws, and now control of the ballots themselves. This really should freak you out. Because once they own the vote, they own the direction of where this country is going. And voting system.
She's almost there. The thing is, the Democrats have already owned the vote. They did that with the Dominion voting machines and with the fucking mail-in voting system. They did that. But people are waking up. The truth is coming out. What's going to happen if all the fucking information from the Dominion voting machines gets out? What's going to happen whenever we start really holding people accountable for all their fucking crimes that they've been committing? Here's a CNN host right here going absolutely fucking apeshit because we're going to be holding people accountable. John Bolton, John Brennan, Lisa Cook, Chris Krebs, Adam Schiff, Jack Smith, Miles Taylor.
Who's next here? Because
There, of course, have been kind of lists out, as Scott pointed out, the president freely talks about a lot of the people that he wants to go after. So here are some people that are under investigation right now. John Bolton, John Brennan, Lisa Cook, of course, Federal Reserve, Chris Krebs, Adam Schiff, Jack Smith, Miles Taylor. The public calls to investigate Reid Hoffman, Mark Milley, George Soros, Fonnie Willis, Chris Wray. This is quite an array of people. Scott Jennings, one person we've heard about is John Bolton, although it sounds like that investigation may have...
They're fucking terrified. They're fucking terrified. Trump's given the ICE the authority to take actions. So now you have people that are following around ICE and trying to report, right? And trying to report where ICE is at. So ICE is stopping them and pulling them out of the fucking vehicles. Can't do that shit no more. Here's Bernie telling the quiet part out loud. This is from Senate Republicans' X account.
They have had months to negotiate. And you reopen the government, and we lose our leverage, and they say, well, you know, we want this, we want that. No, there has to be an agreement right now. That's what this whole shutdown is about.
Says Bernie says that they're going to lose their leverage basically if they pay the troops and the moms can afford food. So basically what Trump's doing, he's helping them lose their leverage. Some people are putting out tweets and videos out here talking about how they haven't seen the streaks in the sky because, no government. So there's no cloud seeding. Strong possibility. Trump's gotten a total of estimated $18 trillion in commitments and investments coming into America. He's using this shutdown against them. They're having absolute fucking fits over these terminations that are happening. Listen to how they talk about it, MSNBC.
Track down exactly which agencies here on this Friday afternoon are now sending these notices of reduction in force, effectively layoffs, firings to their employees. And I just heard from a spokesperson over at the Health and Human Services Department that they are among those agencies, those departments that are going to be moving forward with agency RIFs. I am told that here from the agency that it's going to be across multiple divisions and that under the Biden administration, the department had become bloated. This is the spokesperson. HHS continues to close wasteful and duplicative entities, including those that are at odds with Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again agenda here. And so just how vast are these intended layoffs? It's not clear. We are 10 days into this government shutdown. We should also be clear at the same time that not only has the AFL-CIO filed a lawsuit, but also the American Federation of Government Employees. And there is actually a hearing that is pending to take place in Northern California this upcoming Thursday. Those lawsuits were filed ahead of this actual action being taken place. It was when OMB Director Russ Vought had threatened, along with the president, to move forward with these firings that we have not seen in previous government.
And I think it's already been ruled on. Don't quote me on this. I'm going to have to look this up later. I think, here it is. Yeah. Boom. Great reclamation has begun. The Supreme Court just restored Trump's constitutional power to remove rogue commissioners from federal agencies. For the first time in 90 years, the president can clean house. The walls of bureaucratic tyranny are cracking. In a ruling a few expected, but history will never forget, the Supreme Court confirmed that President Trump has full constitutional authority to remove Democratic commissioners Mary Boyle, Richard Trump Jr., and Alexandria Hahn Sarek from Consumer Product Safety Commissions. The court reminded the nation that the executive power belongs to the president alone, not to agencies, not to boards, not to faceless lawyers. The 6-3 decision has detonated the foundation of the bureaucratic immunity. Trump can now terminate any commissioner who objects, reform, dismantle ideological mandates, and reclaim executive control over agencies that have operated like private empires. The ruling sets a precedent that can sweep through every corner of the federal maze: the FTC, SEC, NLRB, CDC, FDA, DOE. Hundreds of unelected operatives who hid behind the term independent and are now exposed. That's from Whiplash 347. So I don't think they're going to try to sue and stop for these firings. I don't think it's going to do them any good. And by the way, while Trump is getting terrorists back, that I think it's been confirmed that all 20 terrorists have been returned, Israelite terrorists. Melania, the first lady, is negotiating with Putin and getting fucking Ukrainian kids back to their fucking parents. Right? Then you have people on the street who's screaming they want more National Guard. They want the protection on these fucking streets. Then you got the Nobel Peace Prize winner right here. She's talking about she's dedicating her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump, the one who actually probably fucking deserves it. The citizens of the streets are not having it anymore. Listen to this Democrat woman.
In the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man. Yes. And it coming up in here acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that,
when all along,
Say
all
that.
you're doing is trying to use black people
Say
to
that.
find a reason to make some money.
Say
Let me
that.
tell y'all something over there. We're done. The Democratic Party is done.
Abuse the black American.
Gonna come in here and gonna clean it up. Do just like our.
The Democrats can't keep the people. The truth is being exposed. We have real leaders in office that are making moves, making steps, and getting things fucking done. And they just can't fucking handle it. Right? Since President Trump has made D.C. safe again, since the National Guard went into D.C., there have been 4,067 arrests, 381 illegal guns seized, plus a drug den with 7 illegal guns and 300,000+ rounds of ammo across the street from a fucking kindergarten. They're cleaning up the streets, and the citizens are loving it. Absolutely fucking loving it. And the thing is, it gets even funnier because, see, these TV personalities like Caitlin Collins right here, this snotty fucking bitch. God, she irks me sometimes. But they tell on themselves. Because you know how they want to talk about how Trump's he's in a cognitive decline. He's suffering from dementia. He's getting old. He can't fucking get around anymore. He doesn't know half of what he's talking about, right? And they'll say these things on fucking TV all the goddamn time to you. They'll fucking say these things. But then you get her on a podcast and she's talking casual and listen to what she says about Trump.
It's different because Trump is such an accessible president that, like, if he's just swearing in the ambassador to Greece, like, typically that wouldn't be a newsworthy event if President Biden or any typical president was probably doing it. But Trump's moments, anytime the camera's around and the reporters are around, it can turn into a press conference. And so you never go into the Oval thinking, oh, this is going to be a quick, we call them sprays. It's where you go in, basically a photo op, and then you leave. Because Trump will swear someone in and then he'll turn to you and say, you know, any questions? And he'll take maybe questions for 45 minutes. And so you have to, like, I always keep a running list of questions on my phone.
Okay.
because you never know when you're going to run into him or when he's going to start taking questions. And so you can't just have one or two. Like, you have to have like 10 ready to go.
Because you said the word typical president, right? Not your typical president. Typical president was swearing in someone from Greece, like we would know. Is that because of predictability?
Now, it's funny, she's talking about how anytime things can turn into a press conference, you got to have all these fucking questions. But yet, somehow or another, Trump is not the most fucking transparent fucking president we ever had. That was Biden, who never fucking took questions and had to get fucking helpers to lead the fucking press out of the rooms because they wouldn't fucking leave and keep yelling at him. And he just stared at them. That's all he did.
Trump is my first president that I ever covered, and I covered Biden as well, and so I can compare it to him. But even with President Obama,
She said, Trump is my first president I ever covered, but I covered Biden as well. Why did she say it like that? Why did she say it like that? Let me make sure I heard that correctly.
my first president that I ever covered, and I covered Biden.
Someone from Greece, like we would know. Is that because of predictability?
Trump is my first president that I ever covered, and I covered Biden as well, and so I can compare it to him. But even with President Obama.
Why did she say it like that? Just ask.
There are these moments in the Oval Office that everyone has come to know because you see them on TV so often.
Right.
But when you speak to reporters who covered President Obama, he almost never responded to shouted questions. It wasn't his thing. He didn't, he would have his moments with world leaders, and then you would leave the Oval. Trump kind of upended that when he came into the White House. And sometimes presidents are press averse. Trump embraced the media. I mean, he did it for decades as like this New York mogul.
Sure.
And so he just had a different approach to the press and always has, long before taking office. Most politicians are not very press savvy. It kind of depends on who it is. I think Trump always understood the value of a camera and a microphone.
She goes on to talk about at some point how Trump is, you can't ride on Air Force One with Trump because he won't let you sleep. He doesn't sleep either. And we've all heard the joke about the 3 a.m. text and the sleeping and stuff. But I'm going to let Tyrus from Gutfeld and his own show, or whatever he does, I'm going to let Tyrus tell you about that.
99% of the shit that the bullshit propaganda media said about the president is bullshit. But the one thing they got right was that 3 a.m. tweet shit. He texts me at 2:30 in the morning. I'm in bed asleep with my wife. My phone ding, ding, ding. I'm like, oh, I woke up and I was like, hey, yo, Tyrus, it's the president. I just filled California up with water. Governor's pissed. Look at these pictures. Post them tomorrow. LOL.
Now, you have to admit, if there was ever anybody to bring comedy into the White House, it would be President Trump. The motherfucker put a picture of an auto pen up for Joe Biden. That was fucking funny. I don't care who you are. That's fucking funny.
I text him right back. You cold-blooded, Mr. P. Cold-blooded. I bet he was, man. You filled up all the reservoirs? All of them. Hashtag fuck that little fish.
And I can see Trump sending that hashtag.
Not making this shit up. I'm not. And I'm sitting there, like, I'm texting with the president. Whole side of my face got hot. I turned to look, my wife was like, who in the fuck are you texting at 2:30 in the morning? President. Tell the bitch she can have you. So it's the president. Give me that. Tell him it's 2:30 in the morning and tell him to text you tomorrow. What? Would you like me to do it? No. Hey, Mr. P, my wife says it's late and that I got to hit you tomorrow. Text me back right away. Okay, cool. Hashtag pussy whip.
And that sounds about right for the president. That's one thing that has happened with this country, with all the shit that's going wrong, with all the craziness that's going on, and all the lies that they're trying to feed us. One thing is still, I think it's going to unite us. Because this one thing I think that's going to unite us, it always carries a little bit of the truth with it. Because it's that little bit of the truth that connects all of us. And that one thing that's going to unite us, that's going to bring us back to our fucking senses after all of this shit is done and the dust settles. This one thing is still going to be around, and it's going to bring us back to our senses. And that's humor. So, here's a comedy skit from this one guy. I don't know who he is. If I knew who he was, I'd give you his name, absolutely. If I find out, I'll give it to you later. This is tweeted out from Dutch. You can find Dutch at proud_Americans. O is a 0 on the proud. And we're going to finish off with this tonight.
One thing you have to admit, and that we can all agree on this, is that liberals make better espresso. That's a fact, Jack. You know what I'm saying? You got to give the devil their due, dude. That is their shit. I tell Republicans all the time, I'm like, listen, you keep your hardworking, patriotic, family-loving lifestyle out of this coffee shop. My coffee's made by some pill-addled vegan witch. Some grumpy queer lady with a pocket full of crystals. Sagittarius moon rising or whatever the fuck. She's fresh from an abortion, ready to go. She don't got time for children. She gotta work. I'll be honest, my coffee order is gay. Super gay. I love it. I love a Cafe Nico. If you don't know what a Cafe Nico is, it's a doppio ristretto shot pulled quickly into a glass or ceramic mug with a little bit of vanilla syrup, a little bit of orange syrup, an orange rind, cinnamon, and then a little dollop of steamed almond milk. Yeah. I told you it's gay, and you're still mumbling homophobic slurs at me. That's how gay it is. No, you can't order that from a Republican. Could you imagine me in Oklahoma like, morning, boys. One Cafe Nico. What's that? You don't know what it is? Let me tell you. It's just a doppio ristretto shot pulled neatly into a glass or ceramic mug with orange syrup, vanilla syrup, an orange rind, cinnamon, and a little dollop of steamed. He's like, you trying to suck my dick, boy? You're like, what? Gary, come out here. This guy's trying to suck our dicks. I'm like, no, I'm not. Stay back there, Gary. A Republican would be like, listen, boy, we got black coffee, and we can leave a little room for your pussy if you want to put some milk in. If you want the coffee I like, you have to go into these little granola peddling coffee shops. You know, you got to get through all the flags just to get in there. Everyone in there's never had meat before, so they have no bones. They're just very, very tired. All the hot chicks are dressed like Cam Newton for some reason. The guy that works there makes the good shit. He's got that stupid little mustache. You guys know that? Little curly. Rides that bike with a big front wheel. Welcome to Southern Grounds. You're like, shut the fuck up.
Guy's name is Jeff Dye. D-Y-E, Dye. Yeah. I think it's going to be humor that's bringing everything back. And me personally, I'm ready for it to come back. There's some out there, some real humor. But I'm ready for the Richard Pryors and the Robin Williams to come back. Oh, those were the days. Till next time, kiddies.